And things are different now as well. Like when you were young, no offense, it was a little while ago, but like these days it's quite different. And the sort of quite evil brainwashing and conditioning, the poor advice that young men are getting in terms of girls, like, oh yeah, just tell her you're in love with her, just be a simp for her and stuff. So a lot of guys are falling for it these days and just doing what would come naturally from the movies they've been watching. Every guy's watched the movie where the girl is literally with like the Chad, the jock, and he's like focusing on football or something, and the girl feels really upset, and the little nerdy skinny guy is like obsessively thinking about her. He's got pictures of her on a wall, and eventually he wins her. And it kind of shows, okay, this little weird guy eventually gets the girl, so they should quite like be like him. And so we've got the rise of guys who are obsessing over girls who aren't even thinking about them. And this, in the real world, this doesn't actually work out well. In the real world, like the girl is obsessing over the guy who's obsessing over something else. He's obsessing over his work or his fitness or something. So the majority of guys, they're just following like a false blueprint to success or to failure because they've not been given another one. And so when someone actually starts speaking about dating and they can tell like, the guy's got some experience, like Andrew Tate, and the way that he talks about women and, attracting them is so different that they've ever heard from their friends, their family, every movie. A lot of guys revolt against it straight away, but it really clicks in a lot of people's minds and they're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, she's after that alpha, strong, masculine, dedicated, disciplined guy. Why am I trying to still be like the little effeminate guy who's obsessed over it instead of trying to be like that jock type personality?
Was there a point in time when you figured it out?
Yeah. When
was that? How old were you?
I'd say probably near the first year of uni, so about 19, 20. I had already the way that I learned everything was from the Red Pill. So the underground like misogynist group and everything. So this was before the YouTubers or Tate or anything. This was long before. This was when the Red Pill was like a subreddit on Reddit, and it was like quarantine, shut down, and everything, but you could still log on. And when I saw people talk about it, this is misogynist, it's glad it's been restricted now or something, and I go in there thinking, oh yeah, these guys are probably going to be crazy. And it was literally just guys telling each other, like, yeah, like go to the gym, no, stop smoking weed, like stop doing this, do this, no, stop acting like a little simp in front of her, do this instead, don't reply to a text too fast, do this instead. It was like finding the cheat code to life, honestly. It was like just discovering it, and I used it. It worked fantastically. I went into the gym every time that I wanted to slack from the gym, and I'd read one of these posts with it, like, no, don't slack, don't be a pussy, do this. It was like the first time that like a man was actually telling me what like the right thing to do, because all this time I'd been told like, oh yeah, just be yourself and she'd like you, but like I was myself for a long time and no girls liked me. It was only when I started to act more like that guy, the one up there, and in some time I kind of became like him, that suddenly like cracked the code. And the experiences I got to have coming from a guy who had none of those maybe 2 years before that, it blew my mind. You see a side, like you probably know, you see a side to women that you didn't know existed, that no one really spoke about, and you see them like, quite frankly, you see them like as like just normal people now. Once you crack the code to women, you realize that they're literally just human beings, but most guys aren't there because they see them as like this puzzle to be solved, this like mysterious puzzle, and that causes this weird worship, obsessiveness, which obviously doesn't help them.
Yeah.